You're listening to What She Grows Through, a podcast dedicated to empower and uplift Black women to grow their self-worth. I'm your host, Chanel Amir, one of many dope Black women, creating a community for us to pour into and align with one another, uncovering our true feelings from sexuality to self-love, to begin growing through life and evolving into our best authentic selves. Let's get started. What's up, beautiful? It's your girl, Chanel Amir, back again with the latest episode of the What She Grows Through podcast. How are you on this Friday evening? I hope you're doing well, and if you're tapped into this conversation that I have for you today, hopefully by the end you'll have felt a little more inspired. That would be so love for me. Also, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a supporter of the show that at that moment of reading had instantly made my day. My girl, Lynn Michelle of South Florida. I hope I'm saying your name right, but just thank you so much for your beautiful words. She left a review, y'all, and it was just so heartfelt. So I just wanted to take the time in this moment to just see you, beautiful. The journey is tough, but as long as we continue to gain the courage to show up for ourselves, that will forever pass on to other people. You know, as I continue to grow and learn, I just want to share and encourage other women to do the same. So, now we all winning. Yes, thank you, Lynn Michelle, for your review. I have another beautiful soul that I want to share with you today, and that is Dricka Carter. Dope entrepreneur, mommy, so many titles. I got to pick her brain, and I learned so much on this entrepreneurial journey. It's having conversations like these with other Black women and mamas when you just get it. You feel seen and heard, and you just get all the feels. So just listen in on our conversation. You're a serial entrepreneur, an author, a wealth development coach, just doing all the things. Like, you got bachelor's in science and business entrepreneurship. So that means that you just have a lot of gems, and I'm pretty excited to just get to know you and to just pick your brain, because I'm new into this entrepreneur space. And yeah, so who is Dricka? Who are you in this moment?
I am okay, so first of all, I am a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a coach. I'm many things. I hold many titles for many different people and many different reasons, right? But for me, to myself, I am walking in the example of what a mogul is. Initially, I kind of shied away from it. I know you kind of was like, oh, I'm nervous about entrepreneurship. I'm nervous about doing another episode of podcast. But whatever you do consistently, it will help you exemplify what you want to be, right? So right now, I'm trying to exemplify happiness, success, freedom. So all of the things that I've always wanted, that's where I am now.
Yes, we align so well, because just the things that you were just saying, like, I've been learning to really, just in the beginning of the entrepreneurship, like, you learning your values and all of these things, and I was figuring out, like, all right, Chanel, what are yours? And freedom definitely was mine. Yes. Happiness, freedom, like, I have to feel free, and that came not even just as my business, but it came as like in my partners. Like, right, I had to figure out, like, okay, I have to feel free. And it took a while to get to that. But once I was able to, fine tune it, like, that's what I've been walking in. So just finding my values and freedom coming up, and that being one of them. And then for you to say it, it just it just does in something. So, yes, like this is good. So yeah, just who you are in this moment. I love your share, and just it keeps changing, like whoever you are
Yes.
in this moment, it might not be the same as tomorrow or, the next week, because as you're saying, you're about to have this beautiful experience, and who you are might
It
change
shouldn't be the
after
same.
that. Yeah,
It shouldn't be the same. You should evolve. There should be some level of evolution on every level. You should be investing in yourself on every level, whether it's personally or professionally. And I don't know how spiritual you are, but you should have a routine that's centered around, okay, I wake up in the morning, I pray, I meditate, I work out, whatever your self-care routine is to get you to that next level. And it may be hard some days. Like I tell people, look, I didn't get to work out today, y'all. I didn't get to work out this morning. I'm gonna try to go later on. But if you're making a conscious effort to do it, it's gonna happen.
exactly. Yeah, you see, you just know. So it makes me feel like I'm walking well in my purpose. So in terms of purpose, like I want to know, like, just how you came about doing all of this. Like, can you just tell us your why? Like, what pushed you to just be the woman that you are today? Like, you have some passions, and I hear it, and it's pulling out my passions and, like, making me feel all warm. But can you tell us that, like, your passions, your purpose, like, what is your why? And that's always a deep question, right?
It's such a deep question. That is such a deep question. My why is let me tell you. I gotta take you on this journey with me, right? So
Okay.
before I used to say my why and my motivation was my kids, right? Now I feel as though my why and my purpose is to leave a legacy and generational wealth for not only my kids, but for their kids and their kids, right? So now that's my why. That's why I do everything that I'm doing. That's why I invest so much time. That's why I bring them along on a journey. When I have speaking engagements, when I have events, when I'm putting together events, when I'm hosting classes, I bring them with me so they can see it. I don't want to be that person that's saying I'm the entrepreneur, so my kids never have to work, right? And I used to say that, right? But now I don't say that anymore, because what if entrepreneurship is not their passion? What if entrepreneurship is not something that they want to inherit? And what if they don't want the headaches that they've seen mom go through? What if they don't want that? So I don't want to have something for them that I want, you know what I mean? And then it's not really what they want. And now they're living to please me. I don't want to live to please my parents. I got the degrees and everything, and I've done that for my parents. Here you go, graduated from college, gave you that, right? But when I went to get my master's, that was for me. I wanted to go to school to get my master's, right? So that's how I want them to live their lives as well, as they watch me develop into the expert or the woman that they look up to. I want them to see that they're growing with me, right? Parenting don't come with a handbook. So I always tell them, you see that? If a situation happened, I see that was the example of X, Y, Z. So they'll know what I'm talking about, and it's real life examples that they're seeing or they're going through. So nobody can put a wool over their eyes, because they've seen it. Our parents have already taught them about it. But yeah, that's my why: generational wealth and actually leaving a legacy.
Yes. So, like, as we keep, like, powering through these questions, like, I'm seeing why Lily. Let's shout out Lily Mae from Glambitious for connecting us together, because she knew. So I absolutely, I'm right here with you, because just being a mom, it definitely changed my whole perspective. And I was a mom a little early. Well, not really.
I was 18.
Okay, so maybe I wasn't, but I felt like mentally I was, because I was 25. But like how I am now, I feel like I was not grown yet. Like maybe I thought I was, like, but Chanel, you did not know. Like
right.
But
you're absolutely correct. Listen, at 25, I was already married. So listen, when I had my kid at 18, that was literally like a push for me. Like, hey, you're not a kid anymore. You can't say I didn't know. You can't you can't make these mistakes. And plus, I was in college, so it was like literally now you just made it harder for yourself.
Right.
You know,
But that's
with
a
the
lot
average
for
person.
you also, just like in that moment, like
Yes.
we think that we're grown, but we're really not. We just like we just are able to say that we're grown, you know, but then
Exactly.
there's also so much going on with that because now you have to, your college days are different, you know, like
Yep.
now you have this responsibility that it's not about you. You have to focus like on another
Yep.
like human being. And I can just relate so well with that. Just, but I I'm trying to get my
Oh,
words
yeah.
together, but it's just like the motherhood. It just it takes you to a different level in just of my thought process. At 25, I'm just looking at you with such compassion and just at starting your motherhood journey at 18. So that's what I'm trying to get out. And even my mom had me at 17. So like finally
Right.
understanding the things that she was like growing through in those times, struggling with mental health and having to raise a little girl at that. Like it's just
Right.
really deep. So I love that you're saying that your why is that generational wealth, because technically we're still trying to this generational healing that we're all like actively trying to
Yes.
do. So I love that you're putting that generational wealth in, and so am I, because I'm the first generation to go to college and to graduate college, and now doing
Me
things
too.
in, yes, like entrepreneurship. Like this wasn't even what I wanted. Like I was in the mental health field, but they wasn't giving me that much money. So when I had my son, I had to do something. So it's just like
Right.
entrepreneurship like funded what my passions were. I always was taking pictures and doing video and stuff. So now I was able to get this cleaning company that, like, you know, I was cleaning like a good 2 hours. It was 5 days a week, 2 hours, making almost the same amount as this
It's the
40
job that you was
hour,
working 40
yes.
hours a week.
And as a mental health
Literally.
therapist, so like taking this drain in me. Yeah, I'm
It is.
helping people, but I got a lot of stuff going on myself, you know. So it was just a lot like going on with that. So the the generational wealth I'm doing, and like you said, if you keep doing the things that you want to do, you keep showing up as the woman that you want to become. You might not like be there mentally, but if you keep showing up, then it's gonna come in there. So you're saying like doing these
Yep.
podcast episodes, I'm a podcast host, yet I'm always nervous. I'll be on Clubhouse, stuttering, nervous, like, but I know that there's a deeper purpose in it. I know that I want to connect. I know, but you just got to continue to do it. And it does get a little
Right.
easier. And if I stumble, I stumble. I'm learning that, like, just keep going, like, keep going, because
Fine.
the impact, like, you know, the relationship that we're about to have, because, oh, I definitely
Exactly.
as my friend. But yes, that legacy, and then bringing your kids along. My son, he's 5, but he's so smart, and he wants to be a videographer right now. Like, so he has like a little camera that he'll do. I'll take them to like a baby shower, but I can't take them to like one where like they'll be in the way, because I have a 1-year-old daughter also.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
but yeah, that legacy now, I think it always been with Bryce, like with my son, but then as I got a daughter, I don't know if it's like multiple, but it's just like so strong now. It's like, all right, I gotta do
No
something
plan
big.
B.
Yes, yes. So all this
No
fear
plan
and
B.
all of that, like, no. So aligning with like women like you who are doing a damn thing, like, you know, it gives you motivation. And even you hearing all of this, like, I hope like you're receiving that same joy as, like, you know, me giving it to you, like, because it
Yes,
feels
I am.
good. And it's just like when people say something like that to me, I'm just like, yes, I'm doing it. Like, but it's hard, you know, like being a mom, and you're a wife. So
It
that's
is.
another title that you have to grow through. You're an entrepreneur doing a lot of great things. Like, so the business side of that, I am struggling with just like what I'm doing. Like, so I just wanted to commend you with that. I know it was long winded, but you just like
I appreciate
spark something in me.
it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, everything is a lot. And I feel as though now, like, social media makes it seem like everything is so easy. Like, being a mom is so easy on TikTok. Being a entrepreneur is so easy on Instagram. But in real life, this is hard. Everything is hard all across the board. Growing up with kids, your kids growing up with you, having actual social media, because we didn't grow up with social media. All of this came about later in life. So we didn't even have access to certain things until we went to college and all in cell phones in high school. They have cell phones and they're like 5 and 6 now. So they have iPads.
He has his first cell phone at 5. I'm like,
exactly.
Wasn't me. That was his dad.
It's all different. It's all different. But I mean, listen, it's what we always say, we want to give our kids better lives, right? So this is us giving them better lives than we had. And it's not like we had bad lives. It's just that we want to give them better. Just like our parents wanted to give us better. And what they gave us was better to their terms, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's there.
Right. I always like, it's deep. It's deep. Right, like it's deep. Just know that. Like we could talk about it. Like we could just keep talking about it. But I love, you know, all of that. Like just motherhood. Like we could talk about that. Maybe I'll have you on the show, like again, like just to talk straight motherhood because
I love it.
I see. But in terms of just your purpose, like that just literally when you find your purpose, that literally helps you stand out in the world, you know, and make that impact. And that's where that legacy comes in, you know, because that's what it's all about. And then your kids being able to see that and see just the behind the scenes of it all. Social media, they're seeing the highlight reel, you know. And honestly, social media for me is kind of hard. Like now I have to show up for other people. Now, like I have to let people in and see like more of me. So like,
and I'm very private. So that's so what I'm like, stuck at now. But it's not. It's more of like a lot of people say, oh, you got to get content or you got to show this and you got to show that. And I'm like, you don't. Like, I literally believe in you don't have to have a certain number of followers to be successful. Sure. You don't have to show all of your business every time your man buy you flowers. You don't have to post it on. He's still buying you flowers, whether you take a picture of it or post it or whatever or not. Like, be in the moment. So I'm one of those people that are like really in the moment. I've always been a person that takes pictures, even when we were still using disposable cameras. So that's easy for me. But actually, like, stopping to say, wait, do that again so I can record it to put it on social media is like a struggle for me. But everything else is like literally easy because I was always a picture person. I literally have drawers and cabinets and crates full of pictures because I was that person. Like even in middle school, I used to bring the camera to school. Like, we gotta take pictures. This memories. I was always that person, but now it's like
I'm telling you,
literally.
I just lost. Like I should have backed it up. I put all my little SD cards in one container, and I lost it right before New Year's, and I was going through like a mental health breakdown at that point. But
oh my God,
I had some of those where I think it was 9th grade. That's when I just shifted because 8th grade, 7th grade, I was kind of like bullied, trying to figure out like, you know, I didn't know what was going on. But then like, I feel like 9th grade was just a new slate. Like I could be whoever. And then I went to a school that nobody else was going to. They were going to the neighborhood school. I'm smart. So I'm going to this school.
Right.
So like that's when I gained like more of my confidence. So yeah, I was going to school in heels. And I think about that now, like girl, like, but that taking pictures and all of that, but now like social media is videos and reels, and it just gets so overwhelming
like
at times. It is. They don't understand. So Everyone, if you are watching the video or the visual, we got a change of scenery, but we good, we good. We still getting on to it, right? But yeah, we were talking about just, the importance of knowing who you are. I think that's really important to even get to the level that you're at, to even have that clarity to know what you want to do. Sometimes it doesn't just come if you go to
overnight.
college. Yeah, like, oh, you go to
Listen, I
college,
went
you know
through
where you are.
a lot of different things before actually finding out what my purpose was going to be. I went through a lot of different jobs, a lot of different transitions and stuff before I even figured out a lot of different entrepreneurial journeys that I went through. Like I literally had a bakery last year. I retired from the bakery. I retired from the whole restaurant, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it wasn't anything that was bad. Like I literally had grown that business over the past 6 or 7 years to a 6-figure company. But I was like, I don't want to have to trade my time for money. And I didn't want to be materially invested in what I had to make money for. So that was one of the things that kind of shifted me and shifted my mindset more into doing what I do now, for as financial services, for as road development and stuff like that. So, but I've always known that I like numbers. So it's easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to just stick with taxes 100%. And I always tell entrepreneurs, even yourself can take this advice, but once you master one thing, you can do anything else, literally. Like once you master podcasting and speaking, you can literally, the other stuff will come. The content, the video, the actual showing what you do behind the scenes, that's gonna be easy to you because now you're doing what you love, which should be podcasting. All of that other stuff behind the scenes and putting up an extra camera or extra ring light, recording or extra, that's gonna be easy because like I'm doing what I love. I'm hopping on my camera, I'm hopping on my platform, and I'm helping other women talk about what they've grown through. Like that's gonna be so easy for you. So take your time, stay consistent. Don't compare your journey to nobody else's journey, because guess what? When I started my podcast, I just jumped out there. I was like, okay, download this app, start recording, start talking, grab some guests. That's it. That's all I thought. But it's a lot more that goes into it, and it all depends on how far you want to go with it also.
Yeah. And when you realize like who you are and just doing you and being you, then it starts to get even easier.
Yes.
So, yes, for sure.
Not
so
what,
you were definitely
not what people
talking.
think you are. Literally, just
exactly.
be like, don't have to show. Even far as professionalism, like I always tell people that too. Think about how you were in corporate and how they had all of these different standards and stuff that you had to live up to, right? But when you're working for yourself, that's the freedom that we want to have to actually be ourselves. I don't want to come on and always have to be like, hey guys, if I don't talk like that. If I'm like, if I'm not hey guys, and I'm really the person that talk like, hey, what's up? What's up, boss? That's me. I'm going to show up and say, what's up, boss? I'm treating everybody as a boss, whether they're an entrepreneur or not. You might be a leader at your job. You might be a manager, whatever. You still a boss to me because I only encounter with bosses. So, hey, boss, that's how I'm going to show up every single time. And that's me. And people, listen, when you show up as yourself, people feel like even more versus you showing up and you're like, how should I talk to this particular person?
Right.
How you talk to everybody else? Every person is a person.
Yes, I love that. And that's how you find your tribe. Like that's how you do it. And I feel like that's kind of how it was for me, because just in the beginning, me just talking, but then as I continued to have different people on the show, I realized that just being regular and just like sharing my experiences, no matter how it may come out, it was so freeing, and it was easier then, rather than having a bunch of notes that I'm trying to look at and I'm faulting because I'm looking and I'm like, oh, hold on, I made a typo, nah, I'm messing up.
Right.
When I could just say it, like, like. So yes, I definitely love that. And you were talking about mindset shift. And that's a big thing that I'm currently doing. And I want to just invite, my tribe along the way and trying to help them shift their mind, because just the whole mindset game, it's just so important. Being in the mental health
It
field,
really is.
I feel like now I had like now I can utilize this degree that I didn't even make it on my wall yet. Like it's not even in the frame yet. Like, and I did all that.
Right.
But but now I feel like with the everything that's going on, people are starting to see how important mental health is. So now it's just like, all right, Chanel, it's time to stand up and actually teach some stuff, like,
Right.
and,
Like coping
encourage.
mechanisms, like pivoting mechanisms, like
Yes.
all of those things. Because I think as entrepreneurs, we go through so many different emotions and we don't realize, like it's because of our mindset. Like you
Mhm.
said earlier, you literally just said it and you were like, I'm going to wake up and say, I'm going to have a good day today. If you start your day off like that every single day, no matter what obstacle or what tests try to come against you on that day, you already woke up and said you're gonna have a good day. So
Right.
what would have made you mad at the grocery store? What would have made your patience thin because you're on the way somewhere? Or whatever it is, you might get in your car and be like, damn, I forgot I had to get gas today. Now that's gonna set me back
Oh,
20
that's
minutes.
me.
But if you
My gas is
already
on E
said
right
I'm
now.
gonna have a
See,
good day,
look, like,
listen, I'm telling
this
you,
is too
I'm gonna have a
much.
good day. Because somebody gonna try to push that button, especially when you already declare, I'm having a good day today. Somebody gonna try to, your kids gonna have toys all over the floor. Something is going to try you on that day when your feet hit the ground and you say, I'm having a good day
Right.
today.
You got to realize that you can only focus on the things that you can control. Once you realize
Yes,
that, it's a game changer. And
yes,
then like learning to be open and like open minded, and just knowing that like it doesn't have to be all perfect. The
right.
perfectionism, like we got to stop doing that. And that's me. Like I'm actively growing through that. Like right now, you just said the toys everywhere. Yep. I'm just like, you know what? We'll do it. We'll do it later. Like she's one. She's very she's doing her thing. When she go to sleep, that's when I'll
Worry about that.
yeah, but if somebody comes
Exactly.
over, remember I have a 1-year old, okay? So, focus on what you can control. Like let her do her. But in terms of
Exactly.
like, the mind, like your mind, entrepreneurship, you having just so many different emotions, especially when this wasn't what you were really signing up for.
Right.
Entrepreneurship allowed you to have that freedom. So now you're in this, and you didn't know all the stuff that came with it, like all the business stuff. I mean, you say you're good with numbers in your business, or what was it? Entrepreneurship is what you studied. So like
Right.
you got a little more skills in that area. I didn't even know that I was gonna do this. So just all of these different just emotions, and just realizing that mindset, like having a really good mindset is the key. And I don't know if I read it in a book or I listened to a lot of podcasts also, but they were saying like it's 80% mindset and 20% skill. And
Literally.
that's a big thing,
That's
and people don't
literally why.
understand that.
Yes, that's literally why there's people that are in positions. If let's talk about jobs, if in positions at jobs that are, we know we're smarter than, but they're in that position.
Right.
But it's their mindset. When you're working for a company, and I think that as entrepreneurs, we need to develop this as well.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do for my company? Can you do the job that I hired you for? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
No emotions. No, we became friends. No, this is my sister. No, this is my business bestie. None of that. Are you doing the job? Can you cut the mustard or not? And I think that it comes off harsh. That's why everybody's not meant to be a CEO. That's why everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur, right? Because there's two different roles that you have to play. And a lot of people feel as though because you're
Mm-hmm.
relatable, or because they know you that, oh, it's cool if I slack off. It's not cool if you slack off because now you're tormenting my legacy. So that's how deep I take it.
And
if
they
I
don't
hire
see
you,
that,
whether you're a friend or whoever, if I hire you to do a job, if you're a contractor, whatever, are you able to do the job that I have hired you to complete? That's it. Yeah. We could still be friends when we clock out at 5 o'clock. Yeah. We can still be friends whether or not you've done the job. But can you get this job done? Like, we literally need to develop that. And it still goes back to mindset. You can't say, oh, that's my mom. Oh, that's my sister and my brother. When my mom come to work for me, she was like, I can't do this. I can't work with you. And listen, we literally used to work together at the same job, right? Yes. But I had the degree, but she been there for years and I had the degree. So I kind of advanced faster than her. But then when I was like, I'm transitioning out, I'm about to go full-time entrepreneurship, which was in 2018. And I was like, I'm just going full-time entrepreneurship. And she did not understand at that moment. But my mind was already there. I literally was going to the job every day, just going through the works, like whatever. On the phone, like I got my job done. I was doing all of that. But at the same time, I was just like, I know how to do this job with my eyes closed. And then I still go home and work on my goals, my tax company, yes, my passion, because this is what I wanted to do. And it was long nights. It was all of those things. So I don't want people to think that everything is overnight. It took me 9 years to get the notoriety that I have now. It took me so much time. It took me so many other businesses that I opened and closed that I was just doing. And a lot of us entrepreneurs feel like, oh, I can make money doing this. Let me just do this. But if you get into entrepreneurship just for the money, you're going to fail. Listen. You will fail. Right. I'm going to say it again. If you get into entrepreneurship just for the money, you will fail because it's all about the mindset. If you wake up in the morning and say, I know I can make $5,000 today, you will make $5,000 today when you get your strategy down pat. $5,000 is 10 people paying me $500. $5,000 is 5 people paying me $1,000. How can I get 5 people to pay me $1,000 today without me working hard? Right. That's entrepreneurship. Tomorrow you might not make nothing, but today you said you was gonna make 5,000 and you made it, right? That's entrepreneurship.
And in a nutshell. I think a lot of us needed to hear this, and I'm glad that I get to align with you like in this moment because I actually really need it because all the stuff that you were talking about I can resonate with just in a like it's kind of weird. Like I'm just going I'm not gonna say weird. I think that like the universe or we literally were meant to be like because moment. So I have a commercial cleaning business. That's how I was able to jump into entrepreneurship. So I had one contract and that was I still have that one till this day that I do. Like still, girl, you got my mind working. I got so many ideas. This is my baby. It's my first one, and it's hard to, but I'm evolved. I'm through different thresholds, Yes. But I had gotten a 5-figure contract right before the pandemic. It was a mega church, so I had to hire. I had to hire people for their holiday shows. I had to hire people. It was an everyday thing. So I had to hire different people. And I thought to myself, I want to hire my mom because she, it's hard for her in terms of like jobs. And you get so much time now. If you do this, you got your whole day and you're cleaning for 2-3 hours. That's it. 3 hours, know. But like you were saying, like, oh yeah, it's your mom and all that. I had to realize like I'm your boss or in this moment, right? Yes, and you can't just do nothing. And that's when I realized that I was just like, oh, this ain't gonna work. Boundaries. Like girl, my sister, boundaries. She thinks she can get like $25 an hour for doing nothing, like, and I gotta clean up behind y'all, like, no. So I realized I do not want to do family members. Like I learned that quick. But just in terms of that and having to, like you said, can you get the job done? And that's where I'm at now, because I'm doing all these things on my own. I have my commercial cleaning business. I switched it to storyteller because I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate the two. I'm a event videographer. I do a lot of like weddings and stuff like that. So I love that. That was my passion. I started that basically just filming my experiences with Bryce, my baby shower, and putting together like I put together a letter for him. I wrote him a letter like when I was pregnant, and just putting it in visual form. People were like, "Can you do that for me?" And I realized, oh, there's some money in this. And then tech and video, like it was right on purpose, like right on time. So I was doing that, but then that entrepreneurship, I didn't realize mentally how straining that was. And I needed to get these things out in terms of entrepreneurship and relationships and motherhood. Like all these things are just like weighing in on me, and I'm the strong one. People come to me for advice, you know?
Ooh, that's the
so
one.
It's just like,
that's
how can I release this? I have to be around some people who like-minded people who can understand, or who I can empower and show that I'm able to do this, but like giving them some tools to use like in these moments, you know, because it's tough. And I didn't know. So but having the mental health background, I know that that's how important it is. So that's why I started, you know, the podcast, just to talk about what she grows through, you know, like what we grow through. Like it's deep. And then just as a Black woman, because I can only talk, you know, through the eyes of, or, you know, through the lens of a Black woman. So but now the business side of it is a lot. So I'm going to have to start hiring people, but I've had that experience with my mother and, you know, my family members, you know, so it's just like, can you get, I just got to put my big draws on, my, you know, can you do what I need you to do, you know, because it's about to get real. And I need, like, I'm going to start building my team so that I can scale and grow, you know, and not just be stuck mentally, you know, and thinking that you can't do it, thinking that you have to do it all on your own. That's just Black, I'm not going to say Black women, but that's just like Black people in general. We feel like there's not enough room for all of us, and we have to do it on our own, in fear of the scarcity mindset, basically. So mindset, like just there's different mindsets: scarcity, growth, having a clear and focus. Like, so I just I'm realizing how important that is. So I'm glad that you were able to just pour all the way into me and a lot of the listeners that are actually listening, because I forgot that, you know, like we're recording, like, so that's good that this is just, you know, flowing. But did you have any personal life journey or story that you can share where you feel like you had to where you were recognized, or you feel like you had to shift your mind in order to get from that point to the next point?
Listen, I do. And actually, this is an exclusive because I've never talked about it ever on any site, right? So, what happened was, my husband and I actually went out for our 5th year wedding anniversary, right? Went out, had a great time that night.
Congratulations.
We went to, thank you. We went to a actual bar. Literally, soon as we pulled up to the bar, gunshots rang out. Oh my entire car, my entire truck got shot up. Not a bullet touched neither one of us. Like, nothing. We had to skirt off, like literally drive home on flat tires, bullet holes riddled my entire car. Like, I didn't even see, because it was nighttime. So imagine, like, we already kind of intoxicated.
In your moment.
We drunk. We going to the next place. All right, where to next, right? So we literally pulled up to the bar. They started shooting. We skirted off, get home, because we was probably maybe like 5 minutes from home, the last place we went to. So we was 5 minutes from home, skirt home. So we get out the car. We like, you okay? Like, just traumatized, right? Basically, because it's like, well, that kind of just blew the whole entire night. So I'm like, you okay? I'm okay. We don't see no blood nowhere. We don't see no bullets nowhere. So we go inside or whatever. We kind of was up a little while. But that was kind of a turning point for me, because I was like, we were just existing before. Like, what if that would have been the last night of our life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what legacy will we have left? Like, yeah, we have all these businesses, all these cars, we got houses, but like, what legacy? Would we have taught our kids enough to survive, no matter what the situation would have been? If they had to go live with grandma, auntie, uncle, whoever, would they be okay? Right? So for me, I was like, we gotta stop existing and start living. And from there, we literally just started living. Like, that was one of those things that really was traumatizing, something that we had to overcome and go through together. Of course, car was gone, car is total, all of that stuff, but that's material. Like, you can always get another car. You cannot get another life, right? And when people always say YOLO, I always tell them, no, you don't. You live every day, you die once, right? And if you have not had any type of scare, close to near death experience or anything like that, you wouldn't understand what I mean by that. So the people like, oh, you always happy, you always pouring into people, you always doing all these things, because at once I was existing, I wasn't living. So now I live every day, because you never know. So that was my moment. That's one of my moments.
Yes, I love that. I'm happy that you guys were okay. And I know, like, just in that moment, yeah, like, cause you be in your own little bubble, just,
Yes.
And that just takes me, honestly, this is a little trigger warning for anyone listening, but just the thing that happened at the grocery store. Like, when you just be in your own moment, I felt like I had to just like pour into like my tribe that helped me also, just with everything going on. I'd be in my own moment, my own little bubble. I'd be having my kids with me, and we're just, in the grocery store living. Like, you get to choose. Like, I'm appreciating that moment. Ryan, she's always like, she has to have a banana in her hand if we're going to the grocery store, and she wants it whole, and she's like, so just that rice is hanging off the cart, like he wants everything, but I enjoy that moment, and for someone to come in and take that away from me, like I wasn't even there. I'm in Pittsburgh, but being able to empathize and see myself in that, like, is triggering, and it caused me trauma also, so
even that school, even with the school shooting is a trigger, because think about it, we send our kids to school to be in a safe place for 8 hours a day. Never in a million years do we imagine that we wouldn't be able to go back and pick our
elementary school at that. So it's been a lot of on just, I'm not going to say just the Black community, but just a lot of stuff going on that just, it makes you realize that you really do have to start living, and you can focus on, of course you want to focus on what you can control, but I mean, it's leaving a mark on us, now we're trying to heal from the impact of that. Like, that is trauma
for other people, for other people.
So,
yeah, definitely.
And just imagine the people who are directly involved, like if we're feeling the way that we're feeling now, like, so I'm glad that you shared yours, and just how you shared it, and it relates, to just so many different things. We have to, and it's so rewarding when you're able to do that, like when you're actually able to live, you can see the beauty in everything. I think there's a thing called like, you can romanticize your life or something, but that's me, because I'm always emotional, I'm always lovey-dovey, like just anything, I could see the beauty in each moment, like even like right now. So yes, you have to start living, and then taking what you learn, or trying to learn something every day, taking what you learn and applying it, pouring that into someone else who needs to hear it, something that you took from, like, oh, I learned this and this was like really good for me. Share that with someone. Maybe they needed to hear that. Like,
Right.
so is see, I told you it was gonna be a good day. I was like, I gotta interview today. Like, she's an entrepreneur, she's a Black woman. All right, now we're gonna have some vibes. So yes. So can
All
you
the
just
vibes.
tell us like your reflection, like on your journey, on your life's journey right now, and how you're able to start living? Can you just tell us how that aligns with your interpretation of what she grows through, if that makes sense a
Um,
little bit?
I would say actually not doing anything that I don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
helped me. Learning the word no and setting those boundaries helped me to grow through a lot of things, especially, the story that I just gave you guys. And also, just doing me. Like that is it's freedom in saying no and just doing you. Like no
Right.
explanation needed. It's not no because XYZ. It's just no.
It's a complete sentence.
No exclamation point.
Yes. Yeah, you got to ask
And
that
I'm
part.
just doing me. Like nothing is disrupting my peace in this moment. My mindset is right. I do everything to keep my mindset right. Like I literally have the boundary of I open at 9 a.m. So if you call at 8:59, I'm not open yet. If you call at 5:01, I'm closed already. So just making sure that that boundary is set. Nobody can penetrate my boundaries. So things like that help me to know that I'm moving forward. And also another thing is I used to be one of those people that post so much on Instagram, right? And sometimes I didn't get the results that I wanted. Now I'm seeing that I don't have to post as much and I'm getting an overwhelming influx of clients and customers and inquiries or leads or whatever, right? And that's what I wanted. So now it's aligning because I set my boundaries, I raise my prices, I set my schedule. It's all structured and people respect the business more. They respect the business owner more because it's like, oh, I got to get on her schedule on her time.
Right.
I understand that. Just like, you can't go to Walmart at 11 if they close at 10. Same thing, right? So you got to literally put yourself in that space. Not stop saying, oh, I just have a small business. Or I just have this. No, I have
It's
a
big
company that
business,
solves
big energy.
XYZ problem. And it's always big business. So
Yes.
yeah, that's where I'm at now. Like that helped me grow through so many things personally, professionally. It helped me to start living. It helped me to realize that I wasn't living in the initial beginning of it. And I was like literally 5-6 years into entrepreneurship. So now I'm able to do what I want to do. I'm able to live how I want to live. I'm able to show my family how we should be living. Like all of those things, and it comes with time. So I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, she's living her dream life. Anybody that's listening out there, I don't want you to think that, oh, she's living her dream life overnight. No,
It takes work.
I've been in the trenches. I got it out the mud. I failed. I've been broke. I've been all of those things. Like I've literally done all of that. But guess what? I manifested. Now I have manifestations. I have affirmations that I say every morning. I have a routine that I do that I'm going to stick to. I'm not getting up and you knock me off my routine because I just have to jump up and go run some. I'm not doing it. I'm doing everything that goes with my routine. I cannot leave until my routine is done. I have to pray, read the Bible. I have to do all that before I even encounter with any other human beings.
Right.
Because I gotta make sure I'm straight. If I'm not straight, I can't pour into anybody else. I cannot pour from an empty cup. I cannot rely on anybody else to fill me up if I'm not filling my own self up. So that's some of the things that I got to grow through.
Yes. All of that. And I'm just I'm just happy because like you're definitely just an inspiration of, where I'm trying to be. I feel like I'm on the path.
You're gonna get there.
I'm on the journey. I mean, and then you asked, I mean, you talked about like, success in the beginning of our interview. And everybody's level of success is different, so technically I'm successful right now. I just have to put
Exactly.
structure in my life. I have
Yes.
to put plans in so that I can take some of the weight off of myself, because I'm doing it all on my own. But just imagine when I get a team. Oh, it's about to be lit. Like then I
Listen,
can
let me tell you one hack about getting
okay.
a team.
Okay.
Literally, this is gonna save your life. Okay. So when you planning on getting a team, you need to write down what are your everyday tasks that you do. That's gonna be your standard operating procedures. I don't care how simple it may be. Don't leave it out. Write it on a paper. I don't care if it's as simple as light the candle, turn the music on, turn the lights on, turn the lights off, turn the computer on. Whatever you do on a daily basis. I don't care if you got to record yourself the whole day to see what all you do on a daily basis, right? Write it down. That's how you're going to get your standard operating procedures in order. Before you hire people, you need to know what all you do, because you'll hire people with the expectation that it's common sense. You see me do it all the time. You're watching me do this during training. You're thinking you're training them, or you're thinking you're giving them direction, and you're really not, right? So having everything already written down or typed up or however you want to have it, and letting them know, listen, I know it can be done because I did it all myself. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're saying now, right? So you're doing it all yourself already. Been there, done that. Before I got a team, before I had all these different offices and stuff, I was the octopus entrepreneur. Not doing it no more because I know better now. And then when I'm telling you from experience, when I hire people, the expectation was already, you sitting here watching me do this. Why you don't get it? I'm thinking I already showed you, but I didn't show you. So now I have to hands-on show you. I have to hands-on have a employee handbook. I need you to sign off. I need you to understand what your roles and responsibilities are. And I need to have some accountability along with that. So if in 30 days, if you're not meeting the expectations of this list that says this is your roles and responsibility, what's going to happen? In 60 days, if you're not regurgitating the same information, and I got to talk to you about this again and again, what's going to happen? What's the accountability? What's the appropriate? You good? Or your light? I know, right? What's the appropriate resolution? Do we stick together? Do I coach you a little bit more, or do I fire you? What is it going to be? 90 days. What happens in 90 days? Right? So actually putting that down on paper and seeing it. And then once you hire that first person and you're able to let them know, listen, I need you to be an assistant. I need you to answer phones, do emails, clean my room, clean my office, make sure my schedule is tight. Let me know what I have to do tomorrow. I shouldn't have to think if I'm hiring a personal assistant.
Right.
So just having that in order before you even think about hiring people, it's going to save your life.
Okay, perfect.
That's it.
And I was also thinking of because I do a lot of editing, just recording my workflow, recording what I do on the screen so that they could see if you're making content for me, all right, this is what you do and stuff like that. So yeah, okay,
definitely. And listen,
it be a lot, but
Zoom, Loom,
it's doable.
StreamYard, all that type of stuff is gonna be key for you, and you can title it whatever you need it to be. This is opening procedures, so that you don't have to rinse and repeat and have to keep training people, because sometimes turnover in the beginning is not always good. So if you have that video already, you don't have to waste time retraining this person. Listen, this is my onboarding process. Send me the XYZ documents. This is my standard operating procedures book. Make sure you read it by 24 to 48 hours. Sign off on it. Once you sign off on it, automate. Here goes the video on my standard workflow on this particular process. Here's my workflow on XYZ. Oh, if you have a question about something and I didn't already do it, now I'm going to make a video about it. Everything needs to be on video. You need a whole log to train somebody, because you can't duplicate you, but you can duplicate a process. You can always
do it for organization.
For organization,
all that.
Usually I put it on a zip drive, and then I set it in an email. But I have a CRM, so my assistants work from my CRM. I don't care if somebody texts me. As soon as they text me, I put their number into the CRM. So now you're automatically receiving my text messages. You're already receiving my affirmations. If I hear about some grants, I'm automatically sending that out to my group of people. stuff like that. So whatever it is that you can automate and take yourself out, that's what you're working on now. Take yourself out of the business so that it doesn't feel like work anymore. Because burnout is real, and you don't want to experience burnout so early in entrepreneurship.
Almost all the time. Like,
and see, I was one of them people that didn't. I did not reset in the beginning. Now I disconnect so fast. Like I'm off. It's an off day. Not answering no questions. Yeah, I saw your message, but I'm off. So now I'm like that. But at first, it didn't really bother me. I wasn't one of those people that's like, oh no, it's not good for my mental. I wasn't like that. Literally was the person that worked sun up to sundown because I felt like, man, listen, we not where we need to be at. It's partially my fault. Like I was one of those people. So I'm like, I gotta be in the trenches with my team because we not where we want to be at. Now, y'all not meeting y'all goals. I'm meeting my goals. It's not me. Right. So what's going on? Why you not meeting your goals? Okay, now I need to get some structure. That's why I came up with the 30, 60, 90 day thing evaluation. So it's like, you need to do a self-evaluation. If you achieve or exceed everything, and I'm looking like, no, you don't. You always late. You never, I always have to remind you to send an email. I always have to remind you're not meeting or exceeding any goals if I have to remind you of what the goal is. And we already talked about this upon hiring. You're not doing it.
Right. So and now that's taking a toll on you mentally, So boom. Yes.
Boom. So you gotta nip everything in the bud. You gotta working on the business and not in the business. So you shouldn't be cleaning at all. You need to have people.
I did have someone. But I was like,
but turnover is real.
And I was like, I need that more capital. But I'm in the process of building passive income. So that I'm taking, so in terms of clarity, so like, I know that I can't do all of these things, but now I'm realizing that I can appreciate how far the cleaning company, my entrepreneurship, has gotten me because it funded Chanel Amir Films, which birthed What She Grows Through, so now but I'm realizing that What She Grows Through is like, that's the mentally part. So that's the 80%. In the Chanel Amir Films is 20% right now. But I need both of them together, so it's like, all right, now I got to figure out how to incorporate the two. So I've been taking, I am going to take it down a notch in terms of doing other people's, things or visuals, events, and just I'm gonna increase my prices and then choosing who I want, because I'm not gonna be working every weekend either.
You're not gonna be available every week. Exactly.
And then putting out something where I can help other people get to, if this is what you want to do, I could teach you how to do it too, but then establishing that passive income from that, being in the expert role, while I'm able to pour into and align with other women on what she grows through,
Girl,
and then I could do more.
I got some stuff for you. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, I got a few things that's coming to mind as you keep talking. Yes.
Yeah, it's deep, but I'm glad, like, it took me just doing all of it alone, doing all of it to realize I don't want to do all this. And remember, I got 2 kids too. Like, so just in terms of that, and I'm a single mom also, like, so that comes into play as well. So there's just a lot of different things that are like coming, and now it's up to me to figure it out. Like, all right, this ain't working for me. I'm trying to
get organized. Listen, when I was doing my bakery in Texas at the same time, my bakery always lacked during tax season. And I was like, man, I feel so bad that I can't accommodate everybody because I'm accommodating tax clients or I have an appointment. So I can't go take 5 hours to bake a cake when I can make way more money in 15 minutes by dealing with this tax client, right? So I didn't want to continue to let that business suffer during that season because it's literally the whole first quarter. So I'm like, I got to make a decision. And my decision was, I don't want to do this no more. And listen, it's so funny because when I was at home, the only thing I wanted was to have an actual bakery, a storefront, and display all my stuff because I used to ship my stuff all over the world and all that good stuff. too much work, not
But
doing
an
it. So
experience,
you kind of,
right?
it was a great experience. I met so many people. I was able to feed so many people, like all of those different things. But it wasn't my passion. It was something that paid the bills. It was something that was fun to learn. And like you asked me earlier, I don't think I said it, but everything that I feared, I mastered it. So I feared learning how to bake cakes. I hated baking. My husband was the one that used to bake the cakes. I can decorate, but that was it. Right. So I learned how to do that. I hated doing candy apples, learned how to do candy apples. That's all people started asking for. And I started out just only doing chocolate covered strawberries. I literally started that business only to do chocolate covered strawberries, and it was seasonal. And then I started to do it full time. And when I quit, actually, my last full time job, I was like, I'm not letting nobody dictate my future. I don't care what I gotta do. If I gotta sell plates, if I gotta do strawberries every single day, whatever I gotta do, I'm doing it. Because I knew tax season was only January to April. So I'm like, what else I can do? And that was it. That got me through for that moment. As soon as I got into a bakery world and a restaurant world, I was like, I don't want to do this. Let me take a step back. And now I can focus more on the tech side. I can focus more on helping people grow, get out of debt, grow their businesses, like get funding, all of these other things that fulfill me as well as fulfill the person that I'm working with. So
Yes. What
as long as you get
less
organized,
service also, like, so that
yes,
you can free up
less
more
me.
of your time. Yeah, so that's
Yes.
where I'm currently at in my journey, like, or on my journey. And the good thing about it is I recognize the beauty in it all. Like, I'm documenting the process. Like, I'm
Yes.
just, we're even to where I live right now, because I've been there years. I've definitely grown past this place, but it's so cheap, and it allowed me to pour and invest in myself in other ways. So
Right.
now I'm like, I want my own, and I refuse to pay somebody else, like, when that's a mortgage. No, I got good credit. I'm
Right.
about to get my own. And then, like, but I, because I stayed in this place and was able to, rack up and share other places. I think that's what set me apart from other people.
Right.
Like, so, uh, it's just been really good. Do you have any other advice that you can give to other the women listening? Any tips that you can give to have us continue growing through our journeys? I mean, you just dropped so much.
Yes,
I
of
feel
course.
like it was all for me, but I know, like, beautiful, if you're listening, I know that you can take a lot of the different things that Dricka has shared with us today. And just in terms of your pouring, um, I like what you said. I'm always saying, pour from your overflow. Like, and someone else
Yes.
said, what's left on a saucer. I was like, oh, that's a good
Oh,
way of
okay.
thinking that, right? Like, you're only supposed to pour from your overflow. Like, whatever's left over, that's what you can give. But learning to, hone in on yourself and taking care of yourself, taking care of that
Yeah.
person. We can't do it all, but we have to, you know, give ourselves that grace and that love that we give other people. Like, so I'm able to do
My
that, and now I'm just ready to take off. You know.
I'm happy for you. I'm proud of
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I think that my advice would be to plan, always plan. Planning never stops, right? Once you're making a plan, you want to write down your goals. You want to write down what it takes to get to those goals. I'm gonna go back to the example of earlier when I said, if you want to make $5,000, what does it take to get you to $5,000? I need 10 people to pay me $500. I need 5 people to pay me $1,000. Work smarter, not harder. What I mean by that is, I'm gonna use you for example. You have a cleaning company, right? If you charge a little bit more, you can afford to pay the other person whatever percentage it is that you need to pay them. I'm gonna break it down numerical terms because I'm a numbers girl, right? So if you charging $100 per room right now, and somebody calls you for a 2 bedroom, and you pay some cleaning service or some girl to go clean those 2 rooms for $60, you still made $140.
Right.
And you didn't have to leave your house, you didn't have to leave your seat, you didn't have to do anything but pay this person $60 to go take care of something. You paying them $30 a room, whereas you're charging $100
Right.
a room.
And
So
I
you're
do
still you're
commercial
still
cleaning, so
profitable.
mine is a business, like businesses. So that makes it even better in terms of, like,
Exactly.
you
So
go and do your
they're
thing.
already ready to pay more.
Yep.
So just for example, and then my last bit of advice would be, don't just take so much information from people and never apply it. Always apply it in some way. I know I'm talking about numbers. I know I'm talking about taxes. I know we talked a little bit about mindset and all of these different things, right? But somewhere through every word that each of us spoke today, you can apply it to life,
Exactly.
personally or professionally. Keep in mind, everything that you do personally will always pour over into professional life. If you're bad with time personally, you're going to be bad with time in your professional life. If you're bad with money personally, you're going to be mad in your business. You're going to be bad in your business finances. So keep in mind, what you do personally will pour over professionally. So you need to get your personal in order first, and then you'll be able to structure your professional side. But that's my tidbit.
Yes, I love that. And can you just talk about a little bit of this event that you're having? I mean, can
Texas and
people who are in
Tulum.
your area, can people still sign up for it, or?
Yes, actually, we have about 2 more weeks left for people to sign up for Texas and Tulum. It is our third year hosting this Wealth Development Summit. It's for all business owners. It's for men and women, business besties, husbands and wives, partnership companies. If you are a aspiring entrepreneur and don't know which way to go, what direction to take, this is for you. If you're a seasoned entrepreneur and you're looking for your exit strategy, this is for you. A lot of people say that they want to be in the rooms. We're showing you how to be in the rooms, not just to get in the rooms, because we're not doing this for a photo op or for content. We're doing this to make sure that you see your return on investment.
Like
If
that.
you choose level 1, which is $3,500, right? You should pay this $3,500, and when you leave from Tulum, you should be able to go make $10,000 from this $3,500 investment in all of the different strategies that we just gave you. Not just steps, not just, oh, this is how I did it. Literally, pull out your computer and start doing it right now. I'm going to show you how to make the same type of money I'm making. Right now, you can start today. You can leave here and start the same business that I have. You can leave here and start a short-term rental company. You can leave here and start getting your actual cleaning business onto government contracts. You can
I'm
leave
in the
here and do that
process
right
of
now.
that. Like,
So
already
all of
doing
those
that.
different things, yeah, literally, that's what we're bringing to Tulum. It's
Nice.
vibes and value, all about the vibes,
Right.
all
I
about
love that. Are you
the.
you should copyright that part. I gotta put that in I gotta listen to this over and then take all the stuff that you said so that I can put that in the content. Like, it's vibes and
Literally.
value, okay? Vibes and value out here. I love that. So I'm gonna use that, but I'll make sure to put your name underneath, like, where I got it from. Give credit to you.
Okay.
This was everything. Did you have anything else that you wanted to share? I mean, I think we did a good job.
And you was not nervous, so we
I
ain't
know,
saying
it's
that
always the beginning. Sometimes I don't even like do an introduction. I forget. The lady was like, "Oh, well, before we start, hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry." So I'm learning, like, lessons. And then as we keep going, and then it was
Literally.
easy between us. Like, I saw how much, like, we just was just out. Listen, it was
Vibes.
right. Vibes and value.
Vibes and value. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would just say follow me on Instagram.
Yes,
Meet us in Tulum to keep up with everything that I have going on, everything that I have new. I'm actually on tour right now. Like I said, I got my event in Atlanta tomorrow. And the next place we'll
That
be
is
going is
so
Birmingham,
cool.
Alabama, and then Tulum is right after that. But definitely follow me on Instagram, Dricka M. Carter. I'm Dricka Carter on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest as well.
That is pretty awesome. And you have this yearly, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's a tour yearly?
I do have a tour yearly. I started touring 3 years ago.
Okay. So just putting this into the atmosphere, I will be present for the next tour. Like
Yes.
we are doing that because that sounds like, and then I'll bring my camera. We can record it, like all of that.
Definitely.
Probably by that
Definitely.
time
I want to get on road trip.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're gonna be even bigger business.
Oh yeah.
Next year.
If I'm doing all this in one year, like I mean,
bigger.
well, I had my cleaning business. I started that in 2019, in May, and then in November I left my actual job, and then the pandemic happened. But I was able to get like the PPP because it was a mega church. You couldn't really have that big of a crowd. You couldn't have
anyone else. Definitely.
Yeah, but I was able to experience that, and now I'm like, oh, if I can do that, I can do anything. Like if I can manage, I didn't even think that I could manage people, like, you know, and I was doing really good, like, you know, and then I would, like you were saying, I was paying people to do that, and I would come every now and then just to make sure everything was on point. But yeah, it was a big deal, and I'm glad that I had.
That's the only way you'll scale with a team. You will not go far by yourself. Once you start scaling, and guess what? It's a little bit of a struggle. It's a little bit of uncomfortability, but once you start hiring people, your business will scale for you.
And I'm excited for that. Like, so. Because these are great things that I'm doing. It's already the what she grows through is already growing so fast, and it's like I have no choice but to like move over to here because it's like this needs my attention a little more. So all right, Chanel, like, and then it's virtually like not that much service, but I still need to do it. Like I still need to
something physical.
Exactly. So something, you know. But thank you so much. You definitely poured into me. I'm glad I was able to have you. I'm definitely just so honored that you just shared so much. I'll be listening in on this conversation again to take my own notes and to apply it because I was putting a lot of asking a lot of questions for myself. But yes, it's been really, really well. I'm glad that we were able to link and connect, and just to hear your story is just so empowering. And I know that it's just gonna inspire and empower other women to go out and do this entrepreneur ish and knowing that you can, but it does take a lot. It takes a lot mentally.
Yes.
So that's important, but you can grow from it. And then the fruit of your labor is very rich. I think that's how you're supposed to say that. That might sound corny, but it sounds good.
No, I get it. It's good. It's good. For real, for real.
Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the What She Grows Through podcast. I hope you were able to grab some gems from the beautiful Dricka Carter. I'll link all of her information in the description box so you can connect with her as well. Please rate and review the show. It helps me get in the ears of other like-minded women. And also follow the show over on our socials at What She Grows Through on Instagram and YouTube. Subscribe to the page as well. In the coming days, we have so many new gems that's just going to be shared. So yeah, I look forward to speaking with you again. Until then.